Hello and welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming, where we are continuing our coverage of the most recent Warhammer preview online reveal event thing, Faith and Damnation. In this particular video, I'm going to be looking at the Soulblight Gravelords, the new death army that are coming to us sometime, not 100% sure when, but you can see that in the trailer there is a whole bunch of cool, funky, dead and undead and reanimated, dead, gross, corpsey things, which is always fun. And I'm sorry about the rain if you can hear that outside. In Australia, we are under a huge deluge on the East Coast, so hopefully it's not interfering with the recording, but it suits what we're looking at. So let's check out the models that they've got. First up, we have some new Blood Knight cavalry, which is very nice. I've always enjoyed the Blood Knight models. I think they've always been very well sculpted, a lot of detailing there, and a whole bunch of stuff. These ones are really nice. I'm not a huge fan of the armor the vampires, dead things are wearing. I think they're a bit too ostentatious, but they're vampires. They're meant to be ostentatious and completely over the top. I've never really enjoyed the wings that they have. That's an icon that goes through the whole armor. So from the helmet to the body armor to the shields to the banners and everything. I haven't particularly liked that. You can always trim that off. That's fine. But with these ones, there's some really nice things, and I've always, like I said, I'm always attracted to the detail. You have multiple types of textures and materials and fabrics there. You've got different types of metal plating and fabrics, hair for the horses and bones and things like that. So you have lots of different things to get in there and paint. Lots of edges that you can detail up. And on screen, we've got one that is sort of jumping up through the air. The horses themselves look far more sinister than just dead zombie horses or skeleton horses. Depends how you want to call them. Look like they're very much scowling, but then have the sharp fangs, which is very interesting. If you saw my overview review of Faith and Damnation, you would have paid attention to me talking about this. And if you have been watching videos on this channel, you'll know that I love banners and flags and everything like that. Like I said in the main Faith and Damnation video, I want to take this banner and use it with a Space Marine force called, I don't know, Dragons of the Chalice or Chalice of the Dragons. I don't know, something like that. I just think that's a really cool idea. And I'm hoping and assuming that this is actually a sculpted banner. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So I'm hoping it is. We don't have any other shots at the moment of it. And then we have one final one just to show off that. Yep, we've got wings on our skulls. I'm not a fan of it, but I do like these models. Now let's have a look at the new skeletons. Ooh, we got Deathrattle Skeletons. Okay, I need to talk about this. I like these models. I really like these models. However, these models are essentially the same ones that you're going to find in Warhammer Quest Cursed City. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the models itself. I'm just having a problem with how they're doing it. So if you know the lore of the Cursed City, it is its own standalone city. It has its own force. Well, it used to have its own force. And so that would have its own specific armor, the different colors it uses, the different fabrics, the different banners, and the helmets. I don't quite get why we have a fully coherent unit of Deathrattle Skeletons using the same armor that they would have had in Ulfenkarn, the Cursed City. I don't particularly like that. My idea of undead armies is that these skeletons are raised from battlefields or from cemeteries from all over the place, so they're going to have varying different types of armor. And why do they all match? It doesn't make sense to me. That's just a personal gripe that I have. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. We could talk it out in the comments, but I don't particularly like how uniform they all are. Sure, there's some variation in the armor, a little bit in the shields and the weapons they carry and the helmets and things like that, but it's all part of the same army, which makes sense from an army perspective. But like I said, skeletons and undead things, they come from varying different locations. Okay, that's out of the way. I just needed to get that off my chest because I've been thinking about it a lot. Let's just go back to the models themselves. They're brilliant models. They're so good. They're not as good as the skeleton warband from Warhammer Underworlds. I really love the individual nature of it, of each of those models, but that's just the nature of warbands in Warhammer Underworlds. They all are specifically named to a certain point, and they're all individual things where within an army you want to have a more coherent type setup. I do love the armor design. I think it makes sense. These are more robust skeletons compared to what we've had previously, which have had armor hanging off them, bones barely held together. I think some of them didn't even have any fabric or chainmail or anything like that. You get the impression that these are actually more thinking skeletons. They can actually follow orders really well instead of just shambling forward and doing what they need to do. And of course, I love this banner. I just do. I don't know why. There's a lot of detailing there. Like you can see all the different nails or screws or whatever holding in the tattered banner. I love that. And I love all the cloaks that are tattered. It's definitely an aesthetic that I really do like, because you can then get the impression that these guys are old, they're making do with what they've got because they're dead and honestly, they don't particularly care. I love the paint jobs as well, particularly on the metal, yet it's very scarred up and scratched. I think a little bit more color variation in the type of scratches and different depths and things. I actually carve in some more cuts. I think that'd be really cool. There are a few like dents and holes on there. In particular, the one holding the tattered banner has holes in its chest plate and you can see the bones in there. And they come with a variety of weapons as well. Some of them are missing armor plates and armor bits. So, you know, you do get a little variation, but again, I'm not a fan of how the armor itself is all the same and the fabric is all the same and the shields themselves. This is a very personal feeling. And this also goes for the zombies, the Deadwalker zombies. They are somewhat further removed from the Deadwalker zombies you get in the Cursed City. They're far more elaborate, although there is one that does have a coffin lid stuck on it with stakes all the way through him. These ones seem to be more weaponized from various different locations. Like some of them have farming tools, others have like hammers and axes and things like that, and swords. So you get a bit more variation, and we did need some updated zombies. The old zombies, they weren't amazing. These ones seem far more shambly and just grotesque and gross. I wish there were a few that were more reaching out. I know we do have one in there that is reaching out. I wish there was like a little bit more, just so that they're coming towards you. I'm happy that we're getting some new ones. So I think when you get these models and the ones from Cursed City, you're going to have a really cool range of models that you can really mix and match. We also get some new Fellbats, and I love these models. I really do. These things are creepy, huge and scary. Like you can just see it flying up to you and wrapping their tattered wings around you and just sucking all your blood out. They look very terrifying. Their faces are just scary. Like how their face turns into their ears, almost like their eyes are in the ears themselves. So I'm excited to get these. And of course the ones from Cursed City are pretty cool too. But of course, we need rules, you know? You gotta have rules, so we are getting a new Battletome called Soulblight Gravelords, which will have a whole bunch of vampires leading a lot of undead stuff. And on the cover itself, I get the impression we might get some new models, possibly. Looks like there's a giant an undead rat or some kind of wolf or dog. I reckon some giant undead rats would be really nice, with like their torso torn open and their rib cage there, half their face torn off. I think that'd be really cool. It looks like some undead flyers. I don't know if there's more models coming. We'll see. Maybe there will be more. We don't really know. There is partly an existing range, and a lot of these new models are replacing existing models. Maybe we'll get some new stuff. And there are a few models in the trailer that we've seen previously, so we know we're going to get a few. So there we go. Let me know what you think about the Soulblight Gravelords and my thought about repurposing models and the sameness of the skeletons. I'm still like, I think you can do some cool things, getting different armor from different kinds of armies. I think it would be really cool. Keep bashing them with Cities of Sigmar models and things like that. I think you can do some cool stuff. If you have enjoyed this video and got this far, thank you for watching. Hit that like button and it will help share this video around. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.